and I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
What is
Liver
Andy?
King? Liver King has been busted.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
So if people don't know who the Liver King is, he is one of the most influential influencers, I would say. When I think of fitness influencers, there's not many bigger than the Liver King.
Yeah.
And he purports to live this lifestyle where he eats only meat and he sells his supplements and basically says, if you work out, buy my shit, you can look like me. This is possible. I'm all natural. And anybody looking at this guy with half a brain cell knows he's not natural, knows that he's on performance enhancing drugs, but he maintains that he's not. And of course, everyone takes this, what about the children? Of course, I'm not stupid enough to believe it, but kids will buy your supplements. I've been hearing that a lot. This is this guy. One, those are ab implants.
That's what his liver looks like now.
Are you sure they're ab implants?
The internet said they are. Okay. Derek says they're ab implants, if I recall.
That's enough for me.
Yeah.
If Derek says that I trust.
Dude, so right there, he looks like he might be flexing and in his best shape, right? I have seen this guy's abs not flexing. I have seen his abs in my own personal, disastrous position, which is say, on the toilet leaning forward, he's in that posture.
Yeah.
Still awesome abs. On in that sort of leaning forward, hunched forward thing, his abs look great, and it's those are implants. That's what they are.
What kind of liver is that? Like a fucking
it's gotta be like
buffalo?
A beef liver.
Dinosaur?
No, there's no way a cow's liver's that big. That's like a buffalo.
It's huge. Anyway, apparently he spends $12,000 a month on performance enhancing drugs.
All right,
Jesus
so that
Christ.
number is probably wrong. Like.
Are you telling me the internet is wrong?
Yeah,
the internet.
I think that I don't know quite enough to 100% debunk that, but I would love to hear Derek's take on. Well, I mean, yeah, $12,000 if you were a dummy. And
by the way, Derek's the one that exposed him. Somehow Derek got his shopping list.
Okay,
I did see that.
That was Derek. Yes. All right. Well, I guess that if he's paying for. I guess it's pharma grade human growth hormone, and I guess that's why I thought that you could buy human growth hormone in a sketchy place. That's the thing. He's buying it through a doctor. That's what this proof is all about. He's using a doctor. Okay, yeah.
And I don't I'm aware that testosterone is inexpensive, but I don't know what all that other shit costs. What are the other drugs? I know Tren. Everyone knows about Tren, but there's one that starts with an A. He was on a cocktail of shit.
Do you have the screenshot? Because the one I saw had the fronts of the words all cut off. So I had to put together the things that I'm aware of and I know of. But I don't know the nitty gritty costs of individual. I know that human growth hormone is very expensive if you go through the doctor and shockingly inexpensive if you were to get it somewhere else somehow.
So IGF-1LR, CJC with IMAP, ibutamorin, omnitrope, test CYP 6 cc's per week, DECA 6 cc's per week, Winstrol 50 milligrams a day. This seems like a lot.
So the steroids, the ones that I know about, is the testosterone cypionate, the 0.6 cc's a week. I'm going to be bad at doing this math, but is that fucking 1,200 milligrams a week?
I don't know.
So that's I'm stoned right now. So forgive me if my math's wrong. Of testosterone.
Those bottom three are steroids.
Yeah, decadurabolin, I would assume, and then Winstrol is like a
and test.
Winstrol is another steroid.
The top four, I don't really know what they are.
It's an oral that he's taking a lot of. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that makes
mentions
sense.
in his email here 16 vials a month. So that is going to be roughly 69.6 international units of recombinant human growth hormone per week, which is roughly 10 international units per day, which is like a fucking really, really high, super expensive dosage that, to be honest, I know bodybuilders who compete in the Open Mr. Olympia who use less pharma grade GH than that. That's
what I was
how
gonna
high
say.
of a dose that actually is, Derek said.
Yeah. So there's some guys who are real open about how much HGH they've used or use. And you hear Oh yeah, like this far during prep time, right before the event, I usually do 1 IU a day, but I step it on up to 2.5, and it's like 3 or 4. Yeah, this guy was doing 5, and he was breaking into 2.5 twice a day. It's wild. He's doing 10 a day over there. I don't know what that other stuff is between the what I call
couple.
the testosterone and the human growth hormone. I don't know what that stuff is. I don't know. Omnitrope sounds familiar, but I don't know what the fuck that is.
Anyway, yeah. So apparently, I almost feel bad for him. Sure, he's been scamming people that his physique is achievable with just liver and good eating, and a lot of the shit he says are like, he has good philosophies. If you followed his advice, you'd be okay.
Yeah,
your expectations would just be wrong, thinking you could look anything like him.
Yeah,
but I still feel bad for him somehow.
I feel bad for him because I think that he's like, remember that episode of Rick and Morty when it turns out that guy tries to child molest Morty, and instead of exposing him when they like go through his stuff later on to find all the child porn, they let the legend live on because he's dead now and he was a hero to so many people. It's like that.
So you want to let him kind of remain being the... No, I know exactly what you're talking about. That like Jelly Bean who wanted to rape Morty, and then they're like, we'll keep him as he was. It's better to let the people look up to a hero than to know the villain he became, or whatever the fuck is said. But like,
he's there to stand and be an example. And it doesn't matter if nobody's ever going to look like him because you're not going to be him. Like, but if you strove to be like him eating liver, you'd look amazing. You'd look really fucking good. You'd be like, you know what? I don't look like the Liver King. Probably a good thing because he's gross. I do look good though, and I'm getting pussy now. Like that's what would actually happen. But instead, but now you've got an excuse. Now you've got an excuse to quit anybody who was on the edge because they go like, see, you can't. It's not even worth trying. You see what it takes to win? It takes $12,000 a month to win. Like fuck that. Get out of here. I'm gonna sit on the couch.
It is. I don't like that. You have to also look, and I didn't know much about the guy. I'm just on his website looking at his.
It doesn't, by the way. It takes like a couple hundred.
I'm looking at his 9 ancestral tenets of sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, bond, and like his whole shtick apparently is like live like the ancient, live like the primordial man, like run around your yard and yell at animals, like do whatever you want to do, like bond with people, connect, what is it, cold and then sun, not cold and heat, cold and sun. And like he's instructing people to do all this with the tacit and overt claim that this is what I do. Be natural. Be like a man running around the Serengeti trying to get a fucking zebra. Like that's who I am. Do this. And it's like a total lie. It's 100, like, and every time, every show he went on, every syllable out of his mouth, every time he was asked, you're natural, this and that, shameless lie. A lie, by the way, that anyone who's ever lifted a weight in their life and is male can look at and go, you are lying. And so he's not hitting people like us who are going to get swallowed into this because we've all lifted weights enough to know this guy's a fucking douche. And so he's really just taking advantage of people who are trying to get into this. And so those are the kind of people who are going to get discouraged by a reveal, like, and be like, oh, the whole thing was trash. So he was eating McDonald's and po' boys and, crab boils all day, in secret. And he could have been doing that as much as he wanted because he'd still look the same.
No, there's nothing that like, if that guy was eating,
he's eating his liver, but it's a fucking lie. It's not like he lied to hundreds of people's faces. Obviously, imagine me like wearing this shirt and you're like, so Taylor, it's so interesting. Like, so you're all about wearing gray shirts. And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah. And then like the shirt wasn't gray the whole time. Like you can see it's green. I know it's green. It's a green shirt, but I insist you refer to it as gray and I maintain that it is gray.
He's definitely working crazy hard though.
Of course, but it's a lie.
Oh, it's total. I mean, unless you want to, not anymore. Now we know that here that's
it's
one way
taking advantage of people with a lie.
Well, now that we know the truth, you do know that is attainable without having to eat all that nasty liver and make friends with strangers, folks.
He
All
might have
you-
eaten the liver though.
That's one
so
way to
true.
look at it. You know, all you need
I'm
is
confused. First of all, what making friends with strangers was part of his thing?
I think he was.
That must
here's
be
my-
Connect.
That
Let's
was
see what
Connect.
Connect is. Let's
think-
research the ancestral tenets.
He had a whole philosophy. He had a whole philosophy.
Oh,
and,
no
and
way. Okay.
I'm guessing that like tenets of it were meant to boost your testosterone. When I hear running, if he wants you to run around and chase animals, I'm thinking that like there's this weird studies where like doing certain things boost your testosterone. Like if you're having more sex, if you're around more like women, if you're around more attractive women, your testosterone will just go up. You do more squats, your testosterone goes up, and like you do enough of those things. Maybe if he had a whole like list of them and he had these poor assholes jumping through hoops, and meanwhile he's sticking over half a gram in his ass / arm every week.
Yeah. I mean, and like, here's the kind of tenets we're looking at here. I just clicked Connect. I haven't read any of the other ones, but there's whole paragraphs on it. The fifth ancestral tenet is Connect. Our early ancestors were in constant contact with the earth, 24/7, 365. The earth has a slightly negative charge, which provides a grounding force for our electrophysiology. With the advent of rubber shoes, cars, houses, and elevated beds, we no longer come into contact with this grounding force. Think about it. When was the last time you had your bare feet planted on the earth for any real duration? The benefits of connecting to the earth include better sleep, improved blood pressure, and anti-inflammatory and protection against EMFs. All you have to do is take your shoes off and put your bare feet directly on the earth, or hug a tree and pin 10 things a day.
Why can't you just get one of those bracelets that you have to wear when you put a PC together? Just fucking ground yourself all the time. Like, yeah, I got work to do. I'm not taking my shoes off.
Okay, do you see what I'm saying now? Pinning all of this shit and then telling people to take their shoes off.
Yeah, he's trying to be a what do you call him? Not a
like
guru.
that's what it is.
He's got like
me? Take your shoes off, idiot! Like, like, come on, how can you not be insulted? What's shield? Let's see what shield is. The fourth ancestral tenet is shield, because we need to avoid dangers just like our early ancestors did. But instead of running from lions, nowadays we run from seed oils, excessive Wi-Fi, EMFs, and man-made poisons. Dangers like these end up
I didn't know
compounding with
this.
an additive effect. They disrupt our hormones, metabolism, and ability to get deep sleep. Start by turning your Wi-Fi off at night and stop wearing perfume. The name of the game is progress, not perfection. Perfume out of nowhere at the end of it. Fucking left field. I would love to be the copywriter that's assigned this, where you're just like, fucking shield. Okay, let's see what else you got. Let's see what other tenets we could learn from this guy who knows what he's talking about.
Would I have lower body?
I'm picking
I hardly ever wear shoes. What am I talking about? Why isn't it working for me?
But you gotta connect with the ground. You gotta be outside barefoot.
I mean, sometimes.
No, all the time.
Fuck. I have burrs in my yard. They're pointy little
Those
seeds.
will toughen you. Oh, wait. Did you mention seeds? Because seed oils, I know he mentioned that. You stay away from those seeds.
I love seeds.
All right, I didn't know
right?
he was running a whole like fake guru scam thing with like some like Eastern influences. I thought he was just saying, "Yo, take my pills and eat my liver, and you'll be big like me, little man." I thought it was some shit like that, but now this sounds like a whole like creepy thing.
Yeah,
it's scammy. That's pretty shit.
I heard he made 100 million this year.
All right, well, he's all good now then.
that is pretty cool to make that much money, but he misled a lot of people, and it is when you saw this break, when you saw Derek break this, like, was there 1 ounce of surprise? Like, everyone knew this. Everyone knew this.
I was just happy it was Derek.
The only people who didn't know
I'm happy
he was
to
juiced to the
Derek. I didn't know.
gills were people who are new enough to this to be taken advantage of. Like, and so clearly that's the people who were buying into this, because people like Derek, me, you, Woody, like none of us would have bought into this because we've touched weights before.
Not only did I know that he was on steroids, I knew those were ab implants. I
didn't.
Abs are one of my like, they're not one of my best body parts, but they're one of my favorite body parts. Like, if I see someone who has their abs together, I feel like most of their physique is together. I get it, skinny guys can have abs, but mostly that's what blows me away. And his abs are just fake. They're beyond.
I just thought they were perfect. I just thought they were perfect.
They are
because
that. Yeah.
you know, like he does. I mean, he's absurd. It's not like he has little bitty arms and a small neck, and then he's a huge. It's like he looks like a professional wrestler or something. Like he's that level. So
he's 5'7".
You would think they were fake if you saw what I saw. So he's being interviewed by one of these guys trying to expose him, and they're like, "Your abs, they're implants, right?" He goes, "No, they're implants, right? No." Relax your abs for me. Show me what your abs look like relaxed. At this point, I'm always tensed. My abs are tensed when I sleep. I sleep doing ab exercises.
Yeah. Do every podcast like there's a tiger in the corner about to pounce at you.
He claimed he does abs in his sleep. That he's just always tensed. And it's like, no, they're surgically implanted.
Yeah.
And in all his
really
videos, like, unless he's like I saw a photo.
Oh, you know what they should have done?
Next to do you know who Big Cat is? Like the Barstool Sports, like really popular guy. He's like probably 6'3" or something, and he is 3 heads taller than the Liver King man. And so those videos you see of the Liver King where it's just him there, like being 5'7" and that fucking jacked, you look way bigger than a dude who's 6'2" and that fucking jacked. And so when like he looks like a mountainous man in all the videos he's showing people, which is like, I mean, again, not super realistic, but
oh man, he okay.
So the guy next to him, the
guy next to him is like 6'2", something like that.
The tall one.
Yeah, and Liver King, I think he's not wearing. I think he put on some big shoes. I think he didn't ground himself here.
That censorship that covers their like it. This is gay.
What a funny way to like make fun of the Liver King.
I would have pulled
shirtless with accents.
I would have gone into this knowing how big that lower third was going to be, and I'd have pulled my pants up even higher. It would be fucking hilarious if your pants was up right under his nipples, just right there.
No, I'd have gone the other way. I'd have pulled them up,
taking them off.
Like,
so you could see skin underneath. Liver King is what the fuck is the Liver King wearing? He's like wearing bicycle shorts. I can see like his thigh.
And he doesn't wear a lot of clothes. There. And you know what? His body is popping. He looks great.
He does look great.
He looks tremendous in every room he's in.
Yeah,
that's why he's compelling. Yeah.
And he's a good speaker too. You know,
it's a testament to how good he looks that he's like, take your shoes off and eat organ meat, and people are like, "Okay, like,
how much?
How much? You need to be in the cold." Sometimes I don't fucking know, man. Just you need to bond with your friends and family like you're in a tribe in ancient Sumeria. It's like,
all right.
Like, is that kind of like what we like with Thanksgiving? And because I'm not jacked yet, that was not helpful bonding over Thanksgiving for my way.
Had the opposite effect. I trusted you.
Yeah, that's just it's so bizarre that Derek had to make a video with like facts for people. This is like this guy was getting away with it like Capone, and then Derek got him on tax fraud.
Yes.
Like with just a little paperwork mishap. Because everyone knew.
Derek's really successful. I feel like he's the center of the fitness universe. I won't say he's the biggest or the most influential, but like, God, everybody pays attention to Derek. He's been on the JRE twice. You know, he talked about Kamaru Usman's, I guess he has bumps on his belly from when you have really low body fat, sometimes little nodules pop up. And Kamaru gave the I think Derek got it wrong, but he hurt Kamaru Usman's feelings when he talked about this thing.
Discoloration on his body, yeah.
It was a lump, like a little pop. It looked like a pimple with no color. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I bet every UFC fighter knows who Derek is. I bet Chael Sonnen certainly talks about him sometimes. This political podcast I watched used Derek as the source as they talked about the Liver King. Derek is the center of the fitness universe.
You search steroid, you get Derek. That's so he's got some real good optimization going on over there. And like the Natty or Not video started, I think it for him is just like, yeah, it's the kind of thing I do to pay the bills. And now it's like, and that is what has brought this empire together.
Yeah.
So,
his business philosophy of making quality products is one that works too. And it's surprisingly rare in the fitness industry.
Yeah. He's the guy like it's like he started out debunking everybody's stuff and he was just like, man, it was such a smart idea to be like, I know what I want in a pre-workout. I just gonna have to make my own.
Yeah.
Which sounds so crazy at first. If I told you I had a friend who makes his own pre-workout, you'd be like, okay, don't take that.
Caffeine pills and Gatorade. Like,
and you're like coming at him with a scoop of something that your friend made.
It's like, why is it multiple colors, man?
I'm not drinking that. You've ruined my water.
Well, I mean, you can listen to Derek talk about any fitness thing for just a few minutes and be like, oh, like, this guy has a sincere obsession with this stuff. Like in his free time, he's like reading studies and things because he's just interested. Like he wants to know what works, what doesn't, why it works, how much it takes for it to work, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think
very interesting channel. I love his channel. It's great.
I'm sure he's like it's a safety thing. I think a lot of people who would like otherwise have hurt themselves, like maybe if they're doing stuff illegally, have maybe not hurt themselves because of either his, I don't know, warnings, advice, or just his clinic where you can go and like just get TRT.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of supplements, this morning, like over the weekend, I bought like a couple of those like 40-ounce bottles of cold brew coffee from the grocery store, just like, pour a glass in the morning and have some. And I just grabbed a brand I didn't really know. It was called Wide Awake. It was the brand, and it was the cheapest, and so I just grabbed it. And I didn't look at the back to see how much caffeine was in it, and I poured myself like probably like a big glass, like a 16-ounce glass of this, because I was like
juice glass full.
Yeah, like a juice glass full of it. And I start drinking it this morning, and like I'm like halfway through it, and I'm in that like woo, 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 like I'm feeling like really good. And I like kept drinking it, and I swear to God, like an hour after I'd started, I finished it, and I'm like, like I'm getting like really, really stressed out. I'm like standing up and pacing, and like my heart is beating fast. I'm like, what on earth? Like I'm not super stressed out about anything. And I was like, the coffee. Mm-hmm. How much coffee did you drink? I'm like, I don't know. That holds like 16 ounces, I guess. I went and looked. It's 320 milligrams of caffeine per 12 ounces.
Oh my.
And so it was like 410 plus milligrams, which for me is a panic inducing amount. I didn't get a lot done this afternoon because I spent so much time pacing. Like it was a few hours of being uncomfortably jittery. I did not care for it. Now I know that's okay. I was going to say it's like they should have made that more clear, but it is called Wide Awake, and there's like a picture of like a shocked owl on it. So, but I didn't know. It didn't say like extra. They said breakfast blend. Like how you ease.
That's like somebody eating. Come on. Is there a warning on the back?
No.
Does it say anything about pregnant women on the back?
It probably does if you check it out, but no, it was way stronger than I imagined it would be. Like you have a high caffeine tolerance, it would have been enough to get you up and moving. Like 400 that's more than a bang, and a bang is too much.
Yeah, I try to keep my tolerance to like a reasonable level, because if I take it, I want it to do something. You don't want to get in that position where you're drinking cup after cup after cup of coffee. If I have a cup of coffee, I'm up now.